Okay, let's just jump right in, because this is the question on literally every developer's mind right now. With generative AI just exploding onto the scene, there's this real anxiety, you know? It feels like the ground is shifting right under our feet.
And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Will AI make us all obsolete? You see the headlines, you hear the buzz, and you can't help but wonder if your own job is on the chopping block. And look, that's a totally valid fear, so we're going to get into it.
And then you see a number like this, 15,000. That's how many people Microsoft, a company that's going all in on AI, laid off in a single year. When you see that, it is so easy to connect the dots and think, uh-oh, here it comes. It makes that threat feel incredibly real.
But what if that's not quite right? What if the simple story of AI comes in, engineers go out is missing the bigger picture? We've got some amazing insights from an engineer, Ushio-san, who's right there in the trenches at Microsoft. And he says what's really going on is a lot more complex and, honestly, a lot more interesting.
So first up, let's just bust this AI takeover myth. We need to talk about why those layoffs are actually happening.
So the common belief, the story you hear everywhere, is that AI is automating coding jobs, making engineers redundant. But the insider view, it's something else entirely. It's a massive, strategic pivot. This isn't about replacing people with bots, it's about re-engineering the entire company for a new era. So what's really driving this? Well, a few things. First, money. Training these huge AI models takes a mind-boggling investment in GPUs, and that cash has to come from somewhere. Second, it's a talent shift. Companies are reshuffling the deck to hire people with very specific AI skills. And finally, there's the brutal financial reality of cutting costs, which, unfortunately, often means letting go of more senior, higher-paid people. It's a business decision, not a robot takeover.
Okay, so if it's not about being automated away, what is it about? What's the one skill that really matters now? Well, it turns out the most valuable engineers have a kind of superpower. And it's probably not what you're thinking.
This quote just says it all. Ushio tells this great story about a top engineer on his team that everyone called the Oracle. It seemed like he just magically knew the answer to every problem. But then one day, Ushio had this aha moment. The guy wasn't a psychic. He was just unbelievably good at reading and understanding the code live, in the moment. His magic trick was pure skill.
And this right here, this is the secret. The true sign of an elite, irreplaceable engineer isn't about how fast you can churn out new lines of code. It's about how fast you can jump into a huge, messy, unfamiliar code base and actually get it. That is the real superpower.
So if understanding is the key, how do you actually develop that superpower? Well, this is where it gets really cool, because AI, it flips from being the threat to being your own personal mentor. The technique is called deep code reading, and the goal is right there in the name. You're not just skimming, you're not just getting the gist of it, you are aiming for 100% total comprehension of a piece of code, and you use AI as your tireless tutor to get you there. And here's how you do it. It's so practical. First, you pick a pull request, maybe from that Oracle engineer on your own team. Then you set that goal, 100% understanding, no shortcuts. And then you just start asking an AI assistant questions, anything and everything. What was the author trying to do here? Where else is this function used? You just keep digging until you have 0 questions left. Now, you have to realize why this is such a big deal. Before AI, trying to do this was, frankly, almost impossible. You'd hit a wall, you'd get stuck, feel dumb, and just give up. We've all been there. But now, with an AI assistant, it's like having a senior engineer sitting next to you 24/7. You get instant answers, you never get stuck, and that 100% goal is actually within reach.
And the results? They're kind of mind-blowing. Ushio said his first time doing this on a complex PR took him 2 full days. A ton of effort. But by doing that, he built this incredible mental map of the codebase. And the very next PR from that same engineer, it took him just minutes to understand. The initial investment is huge, but the payoff is absolutely exponential.
So this brings us to a final, and I think perfect metaphor for how you should think about your new relationship with AI. You need to become an F1 driver.
I just love this. The AI, that's the Formula One car.
It's this beautiful, unbelievably powerful machine that can do incredible things. But you are the driver. And what happens when you put someone who can't drive in an F1 car? They go straight into a wall. The tool is only as good as the expert behind the wheel.
And that deep understanding we've been talking about, that's what makes you a great driver. It's what lets you look at the code and AI spits out and say, nope, that's not right. It lets you give the AI the right instructions, spot its mistakes, and fix them when it messes up, which it will. It makes you the indispensable driver, not just a passenger along for the ride.
So let's reframe this whole thing. The fear is all about racing against the machine, but that's the wrong race to run. The real opportunity is to become a better driver with the machine, to use its power to make your own skills, your own expertise, that much more valuable. So really it all boils down to this. AI can help you write code faster. That's a given. That's the surface level stuff. The real question is for you. Are you going to use this incredible new tool to go deeper? Are you going to build that fundamental understanding that truly sets the great engineers apart from everyone else? The choice is yours.